Now that we've gone through a brief introduction, I wanted to jump right into the demo here. So what you see on the screen now is a Vault instance, a single Vault instance that's deployed in AWS with a CloudFormation that I created. On the screen, you can see I'm logged into the Vault instance in both the command line and the UI through Chrome here. So what I want to do is start off by doing a Vault status and showing you the current status of the Vault instance. So you can see that at the bottom here, the server is not yet initialized. To start a Vault instance, you always initialize it, and that kind of gets you up and running with Vault. So to initialize it, we're going to do Vault operator init. And what this does here is gives you all the unsealed keys and the initial root token of your Vault instance. So by default, you have an encryption key that encrypts all the data within Vault. You have a master key that protects that encryption key. And in order to provide security for the master key, you can split that key up into a number of shares and then allocate those shares across different users within your organization. That way, no one single person has access to the master key. So as you can see here, the default is 5 unsealed keys with a threshold of 3, meaning that to unseal Vault, you need a minimum of 3 of these keys in order to start using Vault. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to unseal Vault here. So we're going to do Vault operator unseal. And what we need to do is it's asking for one of the unsealed keys. So we're just going to grab the first one up here, paste that in. So we can see here is the status of Vault. So we can see that right now it's still sealed. So you can see true here, but you can see the unsealed progress here is 1 out of 3. We've provided 1 out of the 3 keys needed to unseal. So in order to continue, we will provide it with 2 other keys. It doesn't matter which of the 5 keys you provide. So now we're at 2 of 3, and then we will do an unseal one more time. And there we go. So now you can see that we have a value of false for sealed. So now it's unsealed. You can see that the total number of shares for the master key is 5. The threshold was 3, so that's what we provided. It also shows the current version, which is the newest version as of today, 0.11.1. You can see that HA is enabled. That is partially because we're using an HA enabled backend, and then also I have that enabled in the config file. Even though it's enabled, we do not have current additional nodes attached to this cluster, so none of these are valid entries right here. So anyway, so now you can see the status of Vault. So the first thing that we want to do is log in using the root token that was provided before. So we're going to do Vault login. We're going to scroll up here and grab this token, and then we're going to provide it. So now we're actually logged in as root. So root is exactly what it sounds. A root user has access to do everything within Vault. Now, typically what we will do is use the root account within Vault to initially set up Vault, and then we will eventually revoke that root token and then use other authentication mechanisms such as Active Directory or even a separate username and password in order to administer Vault moving forward. So to demonstrate using the secrets here, I want to touch real quick. So here's the UI. Let me refresh that now. So now we've unsealed it and we can sign into Vault. So we can also sign into the UI using that same token. So let me paste that in. And here is the UI here. So secret is the default path that we can create secrets in. You can see that because it's brand new, there are no secrets in this backend. And same thing in here. If we want to do Vault KV, let's do secrets list, and we can see the same kind of thing that we saw in the UI. We can see that we have cubbyhole, which is the default, and we have secret, which is our KV, which is key value store. So that's our main storage for our long-term secrets, long-lived secrets that we talked about before. So everything within the KV is all stored within paths. So in order to, let's create a username and password, so a secret within Vault. So do Vault KV, and we're going to say use put, and we're going to go into the path a secret that we looked at before, where we're going to create a new path underneath of it called app. And we'll just call this one, service account 1, something like that. So the username, let's just say service svc.sql example, and then the password will be password1. So now we've written that to Vault, and if we want to read that, we can list all the secrets within that path. So Vault kv, and this one we're going to say list instead of put. We're going to say secret/app. So now we can see that we have a single username or a single secret in here. If we want to do the same thing in here, we can say secret, and now we have this new path app that we created, and there's our service account. So you can actually see SVC SQL, you can click on the value and see password 1. So 2 different ways to see the password, and you can list the username and password in the UI as well, or in the command line, I'm sorry. So now we can, so let's list that secret just for the fun of it. So Vault kv get instead of list, we're going to say point to the specific thing. So secret app, and we're going to say service account 1. So there we go. So there's our key of SVC SQL and our value of password 1. If we decide we want to update this single password, we can just do a same thing. We can do Vault kv. We can say put. We can say secret app service account 1, and we can do the same thing we did before. So svc.sql equals, we can say password 2 now. So now if we look at the secret, now we've updated the secret to password 2. There are 2 different types of key value stores in Vault. So there's version 1, and there's also a version 2, which actually supports versioning and history. So you can actually look at different versions of the password. So if I had that one enabled, you could actually look at version 1 and see that it would be password 1. So let's look at, we can create another secret just for the fun of it. So we can say Vault kv put secret, we can say app, we can say service account 2, we could say it's, it's for a web server or something like that, equals web server, so 443. How about that? Cool. So now if we do Vault kv list, we can actually look at secret app. We can say that we have two different secrets in there now. So that's the basics of the KV store. So we can go in here and look at, again, service account 1, service account 2 in the UI. Again, we can see that web server 443 and then service account. Now this will show us our password 2. Because we're on KV1, it does not show us the history of this particular secret. So now that's kind of the KV stuff. And next we'll touch into authentication methods.